What's up, YouTube, and welcome to Not Quite Mint. I'm Tom, and today we are doing episode 3 of our Let's Talk Comics with Gem Mint Collectibles. Before we get into it, guys, let me just remind you to subscribe to this channel, hit the thumbs up, and give us that little like button. Make sure you smash the dingly bell so you don't miss any of our content. Head over to notquitemint.com and make sure you're part of our mailing list so you don't miss out on any of the really cool comics we've got coming up. And also, guys, being part of the mailing list, you get yourself some really cool discounts, and also you get thrown into some giveaways every now and then. So it is worth doing, guys. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Have you had because obviously we've all been affected by this, like the pandemic and everything like that. Have you had, like, has it affected you in the way that you've approached making new content, or like how you've been collecting or anything, or has everything been pretty well secured?
No, I think I'm fortunate enough to be one of the people that has kind of benefited in the sense that I've been able to work from home. I've been able to make, I don't want to say more content, because I was always kind of making content. I've always been kind of, the job I have has always been kind of flexible, so I've been fortunate in that sense. So it really hasn't affected me, but I guess over 2020 I really grew the channel a lot. I guess if I stopped to think about it, I probably did like 50,000 subscribers in 2020, and helped grow a lot of relationships and things like that. So it was probably something that helped me out.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, do you have any kind of like content creators at the moment that you really kind of you think, oh god, their stuff's really good?
Yeah, like one of the big influences recently has been Bam Collectibles. He does anime statues, and he grew twice as fast as me, if not more. And he really, we talk a lot, and we info share is what I like to say, and try to make each other better. And I've really been inspired by him to like put more into my videos and make them more creative. And then like Comic Tom, we do a video together, but we talk all the time, and we info share, and what works, what doesn't work, what should we do, what tricks have you learned, and we try to help each other grow like that. And then I try to always support channels that ask me, like you guys asked me to come on. I never said no to anyone. I went on a channel the other day. I think they had less than 100 subscribers. I don't give a shit. It could be 50 people that don't know me, So,
Yeah.
I always try to, give a little game as well on what I've learned and what worked for me.
That's so cool.
Definitely. Awesome.
And also I got to give a shout out to Everything Always. He was one that he's a huge channel. I think he's got like 700,000 subscribers now. And he happened to be a fan of my channel, and he helped me not on the creative side, but on the analytical side to help me grow. So between like him teaching me that kind of analytical stuff, and then and Bam inspired me to be more creative, and like putting that together is like a big reason why I think the channel got, where it is right now so far.
I think
That's amazing, mate.
That collaboration aspect of YouTube, I think a lot of people undervalue that. But I mean, we obviously, because of the time difference, as you can probably guess today, we in the UK, we're growing quite a bit of a UK YouTube kind of community at the moment. And
yeah, I'm telling you, you guys got to link up with Rad Titan.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Because you guys could be in a good position to really build a core base in your region. You know what I'm saying? And look at like me, when I first started doing omnibus videos, a lot of people were not familiar with the format. So there might be a huge untapped market in the UK that you guys can be like the ambassadors of, you know what I'm saying? And really blow up in your region, and then other regions will follow and stuff. So, I mean, that's just how my mind starts working. See, I start.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think that's it. It's one of those. It's because it is quite competitive, but at the same time, things on YouTube work so much better when you do make these kind of links. I mean, just obviously speaking to you, and as I say again, massive thanks for that.
Of course.
But that's what YouTube and the community is all about, isn't it? You know, it's.
But also, you know, so yeah, I think, you know, it is competitive, and it can be competitive even with friends, and it can get weird, you know. But what's cool is finding like people like me, Bam, Everything Always, and Tom don't make the same content. Like Bam is the closest one because we do statues, but it's a totally different genre with a completely different audience. So I think it's cool if you could find people that are in your same, like, under the same umbrella, but maybe you're not competitors, because it gets tough when you're competitors. Like, you don't want to, I don't know, you should want to help your fellow, you know, content creator out, but it is tough when you're when you're creating the same type of content, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gauge your own identity and move.
I mean, there's ways to do it for sure. Like, don't copy people, be unique, bring something new to the table, and for sure. And I still collaborate with people that do the same content like all the time, you know. So it's, you know,
100%, 100%.
So cool, man.
So is that something with you? I've noticed you mentioned obviously that you're doing your skits and being like really inventive and things like that. With obviously you get Fee, you get involved in that quite a lot. Does she really enjoy that?
You know, that kind of, and also I got to give a shout out to DT from DT's Geek Show, and he runs EvanTube HD. He was also a big inspiration on like, yo, you got to do something in the beginning to hook them, you know, and so I don't want to forget him. But yeah, you know what the thing with that is, that came about because, you know, we love doing the live shows, but I realized like the live shows don't perform as well as the pre-recorded videos, and I don't know if it hurts the channel or not. So I was like, man, what if we kind of fall back off the live shows, but I still want her to be a part of the channel. So I thought it would be funny to incorporate her in the skits, you know, and also to be relatable for collectors, because you always have the wife thing, like whether the wife's supportive or not supportive. And I think it's funny because Fee is probably like the most supportive, but in the skits, we play it like she's the angry wife, kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like the wife that gives you a hard time, because it's relatable. And it's funny if you know us, because that's not how the relationship is at all. But
I like that you've made it relatable. Definitely. That totally works on all levels.
For everybody. But yeah, I mean, you get that. It's really cool. When Fee started being involved more in your videos and things like that, certainly the Sunday stream that you do.
Yeah.
That kind of just playing off each other, I think, that works really, really well.
Yeah, and what's funny is like last Sunday was the first time we didn't do it in like ever, like since she started doing it, you know, with me. But we're gonna do it again tomorrow, because tomorrow we got to do a couple giveaways, and you know, we didn't do it last week, so we'll do it tomorrow.
Cool. So as we move towards like looking at the future and things like that, what do you, if you were looking forward, you've mentioned obviously that you enjoyed Future State like more than anticipated. I've enjoyed the bits that I've read as well, but looking into your crystal ball of like what do you think is going to be the big thing that's going to move us forward into the over the next 12 months?
As far as what I want to do, or as far as like comic books?
Yeah, so comic books, and then whatever. Like,
give us a bit of both.
So comic books, I don't know what DC's going to do, man. It seems like they might be in trouble. I don't know what's happening after Future State. I'll continue to support good books. If the books are whack, I'm just not going to read them. So I do think the downsizing of both companies is good, because we got to get back to rewarding creators that are putting out great content, right? So like Donny Cates undoubtedly is putting out great books, but if there's the creators like that are not, then it's time to go. It's like, it's a business. And I think I really hope the comic book industry goes back to being a business and focuses on numbers and pleasing their customers. So hopefully we see that.
Yeah, that's
as far as me, I want to do this full time. I want to dedicate 100% of my time to this, and do more and do bigger stuff and do more creative stuff, and just keep doing what works and keep growing. and maybe it'll lead to other opportunities. I mean, there's been like a television opportunity that I'm still waiting to hear from, which surrounds collectibles and like a reality based theme, things like that. Just more opportunities that come with having a larger channel and a larger presence.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
cool.
Definitely. But I think, have you got any remaining questions, Tom?
I have got one very curveball question for you, Gem.
Oh.
And I asked this to Ross Ritchie when we had him on. If you had the opportunity to have a dinner party and you could have anyone that you wanted, dead or alive, you can only have 5, who would you pick?
See, that's tough because the people that I admire and I'd want to sit with, I wouldn't want to have dinner with them because I would be so like intimidated. But I mean, immediately like Stan Lee comes to mind. That's one of my regrets that I never got to meet him at a con or anything. Even though I was doing this channel and he was still alive, I wasn't really into the cons like that. Or I don't know, maybe I think he might have passed when I kind of first started the channel. He's one. I would love Jack Kirby to be there. I would love Steve Ditko to be there.
Nice.
But I don't know if you could have all 3 of those guys in the same room. Maybe at this point they would have made amends. And then Todd McFarlane comes to mind, and Joe Jusko. And if I could get a 6 chair, I would ask Rob Liefeld to pull up because he's such an entertaining character, and he has a lot of history behind him as well.
There you go. So there's 5 people, and then Rob Liefeld's just turned up at the end.
He brings the seat and turns it around like AC Slater and sits on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got it. Like he wasn't invited, but he's come anyway.
That's a lot Liefeld too.
Yeah, I like that. That is wicked.
No, that's cool. I think
there's more though, because now that I'm thinking, like, I need writers like Jeff Lemire. I definitely would love to have him there. Jonathan Hickman. I mean, I could keep going on, but at least for like that's the first that came to mind.
Tell you what, I want to come to this Gem Mint party.
Yeah, me too. Do it, a big party. When all this crap's all over the rest of the world, everybody just needs to spend as much time with each other, meeting and enjoying themselves.
Yeah, for sure, man.
100%.
Is it bad over there? Do you guys wear masks and stuff when you go out? Like, how do?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Wherever we go, I have to wear masks on the way out
here,
now.
Man. Yeah. So that's. And you guys are in the UK, right?
Yeah.
What area?
The Midlands. It's like right dead center.
I feel like I know a lot of other countries because I ship a lot of books. I've shipped a lot of things in my time, so it's like. And it's mostly always international, like especially if people win stuff. But yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot of provinces and countries and cities and stuff.
So like I work in Birmingham, right, slap in the centre. So like my accent, everybody always picks up on my accent. I've got a proper like Brummie Midlander accent. So whereas Tom, he lives close to Stratford-on-Avon, so sort of Shakespeare country.
Yeah, but everyone thinks I'm Australian, not English.
I know. I think Americans, like, we try to do an English accent. It's like it comes out Australian. Like, we don't know.
Yeah, I was in New York for New York Comic Con a couple of years ago, and everyone was taking the mickey out of me for saying "mate" all the time. So I was like, "Yeah, cheers, mate." Bye, mate.
But it's funny because you also have like a very like pleasant like expression all the time. So people always assume like Australians are always super happy and like have the accent. I don't know. That's how Americans look at it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's it. We were always looking to be polite. I think that's the British ways, regardless of anything awkward. We always want to be nice and polite and friendly.
That's cool. That's not a bad thing. I think that's how Americans view Canadians as well. That they're always polite.
Yeah, because you've moved around quite a lot. We all originally, is it from like New Jersey, and then
I was born in New Jersey, but I never lived there, so I never really was engrossed in there. Like I have visited there a couple of times as a kid, and in New York City as a kid, and later as an adult. But I really my whole life I lived in South Florida. Which South Florida is very diverse. It's because a lot of Floridians are people that have retired and went to Florida, and then, or had moved there and started families there. Like I always joke, like if you go to a South Florida sporting event, it's more away fans than home fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And then recently we moved to Texas, so not really a lot, but we traveled here and there, California, New York, and in different states within the U.S.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I've been to California, did San Diego Comic Con a couple of times about 10 or so years ago. But family holidays for us was always like Disney World in Florida
But that was ours. We would just drive up there from like South Florida.
Yeah, just we used to love it. Like, but it was literally like every Easter holiday because my mum was a teacher. We used to be like, it was not even like discussed. It was just Disney World again. So I was really
so scared of that long plane flight, man.
Yeah. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
No, you can bring an omnibus with you and you'll be all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
my Disney virginity, as it were.
Yeah, we need that. That's something me and my wife. We definitely want to get Tom and obviously my sister-in-law over there. Definitely, we've got to do a big Disney family trip. 100%. But yeah, from a flight point of view, though, was it 2 years ago when I got married? We went to New Zealand for our honeymoon, and that was a flight. Was like there was 10 hours into Doha, and then it was I think 14 hours after that. That was insane.
I would love to go to like Japan and Singapore, but I think that's the furthest from us here, right? I think it's probably faster from a trip to Florida to the UK, right?
Yeah. 9 hours.
Yeah, because I think it's 22 hours to go over there to Japan and stuff.
Yeah, all the way across. It's just there's too much. I suppose with you guys, it's like too far to go all the way across the Pacific, isn't it? Whereas you're quicker to sort of come back our way because of the land's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I think we do go west though, but I don't really know the
logistics.
Yeah. I'm sure one day I'm going to have to bite the bullet and do it because, man, I have good relationships with like statue companies over there that I would love to like go over there and check out the stuff or their conventions they do and stuff like that, like in Singapore and stuff. And I mean, Japan, come on, everybody wants to go to Japan.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Right?
Yeah.
Or Tokyo or
all the whole anime influences and stuff, because I grew up as a kid, like mom and dad didn't have much money, and we used to go to the video store, just like much like you were saying earlier, and it was there were like the 50p kids films rentals, the cheapest ones, and they'd be all these Japanese anime type of things. So that's really influenced me that I've always wanted to go over to Japan and see that culture.
And what's funny is, man, I never was into anime or manga as a kid, but as an adult, I've recently been getting into it because of the comics that had me dip my toes into manga. And now, like me and Fee, we're almost done watching Demon Slayer.
Oh, so good.
So good, man. And like Berserk is my favorite because I love the statues. I love the manga. The anime I just love because I love the story. But then I'm like, wow, Demon Slayer is like Berserk. It's not as bad, but it's pretty dark as well.
Yeah, I got heavily into anime with Dragon Ball Z as a kid, and then I recently took up My Hero Academia.
Oh, okay.
And then I got into Demon Slayer as well.
So I never got into it as a kid, but a few years back I watched all of Dragon Ball, and I was like, oh, I get it. It's like Street Fighter. It's like tournament fireballs. I get it. They have powers. Their universe. Then I watched Dragon Ball Z, and it is very tedious to get through some of the original long-winded series. Like Naruto. Forget it. I hear it's super slow to get into. But after we watch Demon Slayer, I want to watch Dragon Ball Z Super with Fee because I've seen Dragon Ball Z. She's never seen it. And I hear it's really good, like a condensed form of the original with newer art, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to watch next. But I've been getting into it, man. I definitely have been expanding my palette. You know what I'm saying when it comes to this kind of stuff.
That's what you got to do, isn't it? You just got to try a bit of everything.
There's a reason why millions of people like it. Like it's.
Yeah, I definitely want to, based on like your guys' recommendations, the whole Berserk thing.
Berserk is crazy. If you like, I mean, I don't know that I normally like dark stuff. Like I don't like horror, but something about Berserk, the stakes are so high. Like literally, the worst thing that could ever happen to you will happen to people in the story, and it's like the stakes are just. And that's what I don't like about stuff like Empire. There's no stakes. Like, why do you care? I don't care if there's no stakes. So it's not that I like goriness or horror, but I like a story that's got big, high stakes.
Yeah, I got you. Because that's what draws you in, I suppose. That kind of having those stakes, they're kind of what draw you into a story. You want to read what's going to happen.
Gets you invested, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree.
I think off the back of this, I think 100%. I'm gonna make that commitment to read that, get that first. It's like they're like, because don't they print them backwards because they're like obviously like the manga style?
Yeah. They in the panels read from right to left as opposed to left to right. I mean, to me, I got used to that in 2 seconds. Like, don't even think about it. What's funny is like they printed Blade of the Immortal though is left to right, so it just depends on the book, and I think that has a lot to do with the original adaptation from Japan to America, and some creators went out of their way to like redo it for American readers.
Cool. Well, that's what I'm going to do. Off the back of this, I'm going to bite the bullet and do what I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and get into Berserk, because me and Tom constantly have the joke that we review too many vanilla books, and I just can't get my head into it. Whereas
Berserk is got all the seasoning and spices on it. It's not vanilla at all. So that would definitely be. Yeah, and it's easy to get into. It's not like we mentioned before with different versions of the same character and different titles. It's just one manga, one anime,
I love it. Definitely. But I think we've finished all the questions.
Yeah.
So
I think it was a great talk, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys are super laid back and easy to talk to. I appreciate you guys having me on here. I like the channel name. It's almost like we're YouTube cousins in a sense, right? Like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, it was a little bit inspired by yourself, but you remember at the start we were talking about how we don't like the opinion of being able to say, "Oh, we know everything," and like we don't want people to think that our opinion is like God's opinion. We're basically saying that we're not quite mint. It's not quite right. It might not be. Sometimes we fluff things on purpose just so we come up to our name, as it were.
But you know what's funny? Like Fee put me onto that. She's like, "Yo, you should say stuff wrong on purpose because it gets people to comment, and if more people comment, the more the algorithm will push you." I don't do it on purpose, but it is interesting how just not being a know-it-all and learning from the community as well can really be a benefit at the same time. Not only so you learn, but for your videos as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've learned so much from people that have come on and commented, or like yourself, joined us and had a chit chat. There's stuff that we had no idea about.
I probably learned something on every video I put out, whether somebody corrected me because they want to be a smart ass, but then I'll still learn. I was like, okay, the next time you ain't going to get me on that same thing,
Yeah, I like that.
I really love it. But no, as I say, it has been a really awesome chat. And again, we'll obviously we're fans of the channel. We'll be keeping in touch anyway. And as I say, hopefully we'll might touch base with you at some point in the future again, because that's obviously, as I say, I think we could talk for hours and hours about all that aspects of collecting. And
I'm glad I was able to meet you guys. And now when I see you in the comments, or if I see you on someone else's live stream, I'll know. I'll put a face to the name and everything.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Thank you ever so much for coming, Gem. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you guys, man. Appreciate it.
Cool.
And that is it, guys. That is all she wrote. So that's our final episode with Gem Mint. Just before I go on about you subscribe to his channel and this channel, I just want to say a big thank you to Gem to being part of Not Quite Mint's Let's Talk Comics. It was so humbling to talk to him. He was a genuinely nice guy, and I cannot fault him. He was one of the nicest people I've ever spoken to. So yeah, big respect to Gem Mint. And if you're not subscribed to his channel, make sure you head over and subscribe to Gem's channel. Hit his like button, smash his dingly bell. I mean, I know that sounds wrong, but just do it anyway. And subscribe here. Give us the thumbs up if you liked this video. Drop a comment below if you want us to see interview anyone else, or if you've got any ideas of people that you would like us to try and get on the show, then let us know. That would be great. Smash that dingly bell so you don't miss any of our content and you do get to see what's coming up. Also, guys, like I said at the start of the video, head over to notquitemint.com and become part of the mailing list, because you do get a cheeky discount on any of the comics we have in stock. So yeah, definitely do that, guys. Anyway, I'm just going to say stay safe, guys, stay sexy, and I'll see you